Hello. Surprise. Friday Night Live is a little bit early tonight. I've got some other things going on, but I didn't want to forego the session. So I was working on a newsletter today, and that's going to lead directly into what I decided to talk about tonight. The federal insurance open season is getting ready to kick off for our federal employees to make changes in their health insurance, their dental insurance, their vision insurance, and their flexible spending account re-enrollment period normally runs from the second week of November through the second week of December. So for this year, this open season is going to kick off on the 9th of November and it's going to go until the 14th of December. That's specifically what I want to talk about, but open season at this time frame is not just for our federal employees. If you are registered through Tricare with the military, the open season is also going on for the same time period, 9 November to 14 December, to make changes to your Tricare insurance through the military. And if you have health insurance through the marketplace, private sector, the open season runs along this similar time frame. It actually is going to go from the 1st of November through the 15th of December, but pretty much all of the open seasons are happening right now. So my question was, are you ready? I'll tell you, in the classroom, many times people get confused when open season happens because there are simply so many choices that it can be a little bit distracting to try to figure out what's good for you. In fact, for our federal employees, there will be 276 FEHB plans available come 2021. Now, they're not available everywhere and to everyone. There are 18 nationwide plans, and then there are some regionalized and local HMOs. So it's really going to depend on geography and where you live, how many of those 276 plans are going to be available to you. At least 18 nationwide. Well, no, not at least. There are 18 nationwide, but you might also qualify for some of those regional or local ones. One thing that can be helpful if you're trying to decide between which of these insurance plans you want to enroll in is looking at the kinds of insurance plans that are available, because that will really shrink that pool down for you. We have some that are called fee-for-service. Fee-for-service offers you the most flexibility. You can go wherever you like for your care. You have a copay, you have a deductible. It is something like a couple of the really large ones that we have within the federal government would be mail handlers or Blue Cross and Blue Shield. An HMO, by contrast, limits you to specific area, to specific providers, and HMOs are administered through a variety of contracts. So there may not be a copay or deductible, but you have to see the doctors that are within your approved network. And then the third type is a high deductible health insurance plan, which, when I'm in the classroom, I always talk about car insurance. I just find that people understand it a little bit better. If you were to call your car insurance company this afternoon and tell them that you want to raise your deductible, your rates are going to go down, your premiums are going to go down, you're going to save money, everything will be great until you have an accident, and then you have to pay that higher deductible. So that's how the high deductible health insurance plans work as well. One of the things that you could get with a high deductible health insurance plan is a health savings account, or an HSA. So that's definitely a benefit, and it's not available unless you are doing a high deductible health insurance plan. If you have questions about what that is, please let me know. I'm not planning to get into it tonight, but that can be a tremendous benefit of you doing the high deductible plan. Okay, if I decide between the fee-for-service, the HMO, the high deductible plan, and then there are several sub-options under each one of those things, but if I can pick a type, then instead of looking at 200 plus things, I can limit myself to looking at only those types of insurances. The Office of Personnel Management did release the premiums for health insurance. They did that earlier this week. On average, and that just means overall, the entire program, doesn't mean your plan is going up this much, but on average, FEHB is increasing by 3.6% in 2021. When it comes to the health insurance during open season, what you can do is enroll, disenroll, add people, delete people, or change plans if you want to. And here is an area, and I do get quite passionate about this in the classroom. Here's an area where I feel like a lot of federal employees miss out because we come in, we don't really know a whole lot about health insurance, but maybe somebody in the office gives us a little bit of advice. This is what they've always had, so we sign up for it too. And then 30 years down the road, we still have that same health insurance. Maybe it's great. Maybe it really is. Or maybe we've just never taken the time to research all of the other things available, and there might be another insurance that will provide everything that I need, maybe at a lower price as well. This is critically important if you are 65 and therefore eligible for Medicare. So your interaction between Medicare, specifically Part B, which has a premium. Part A is paid through a tax while you're working, but Part B is that premium. So certainly when I'm 65 and I might go sign up for Medicare Part B and now have to pay that premium, it can be a great time for me to look at those other plans and figure out if I might find one that's going to work, again, as well as the one I have. I don't want any degradation in service, but I might be able to save myself some money. This open season is also for dental and vision insurance, or FedVIP. I can enroll, disenroll, switch plans, add people, delete people during the open season. And because we have something called premium conversion for our health insurance and our dental and vision insurance, which means that we're paying for those insurances before we pay any income tax, unless I've opted out of premium conversion, and very, very, very few people have. I've met one person in all the years that I've been teaching who did that. But unless you've opted out of premium conversion, because you're getting that tax benefit, you can only make these changes like enrolling, disenrolling during that open season. Open season for our federal employees is also when they can sign up for flexible spending accounts. Flexible spending accounts can be a great way to save a little bit of money on income tax while you're working, which is to say, flexible spending accounts do not go into retirement with you. You have to take advantage of those while you are working. If you are eligible for health insurance through the federal government, whether you actually have it or not, you are also eligible to enroll in a flexible spending account. One of the questions that I get a lot of times in the classroom is from retired military members who do have Tricare, but now they're working as federal civilians, and they might say, well, I've got Tricare, I don't have FEHB, therefore I can't have an FSA. That's incorrect. If you could have it, and if you're working for the federal government in a permanent position, you could. If you could have it, whether you actually do or not, you are eligible to enroll in a flexible spending account. We have a healthcare flexible spending account, a limited healthcare flexible spending account, so healthcare, limited expense healthcare, and a dependent care flexible spending account. The difference between the three is what's going to count as a qualified reimbursable expense. But once I sign up for a flexible spending account, and again, I can only do this as a new employee or during this annual open season, then I decide how much I want to put in there, and that's going to be coming out of each of my paychecks through this coming year. For the healthcare and the limited expense healthcare, the limit that I can contribute for last year was $2,750. The limit for the dependent care flexible spending account was $5,000. Now, the reason I'm quoting last year's numbers as we're getting ready to go into this new open season is that we don't have the numbers for this new year yet. We're waiting for those to be released by the Internal Revenue Service. Normally see those numbers coming out somewhere around the third Thursday of October, so we're not there yet. But there's no reason for me to believe, I haven't seen any kind of indication, that there will be a change in the numbers. If that's incorrect, I'll definitely come on and let you know. But right now I'm planning for 2021 to stay at those 2020 numbers, $2,750 healthcare limited expense, $5,000 for dependent care. Flexible spending accounts generally are use or lose accounts. Now, that means when I get to the end of that use period, which is the calendar year, whatever's in there I haven't used, I forfeit. Now, there are some exceptions to that. The dependent care flexible spending account does have a grace period, which will allow you to continue to use funds that you contributed up to the 15th of March in the following year. So there's a little bit of a cushion on the other end when you can spend money, and only after the 15th of March would you forfeit anything. For the healthcare and the limited expense healthcare, there is no cushion. There used to be, but there isn't anymore. There is instead an amount that I'm allowed to carry over from one year into the next. And that dollar amount this year is $550. I can carry forward $550 from this year to next year, only though if I enroll in a flexible spending account for the coming year. So these things are not one and done. Every year that the employee wants to participate, they do have to re-enroll, and you're doing that during this open season. So critically important, if you want to jump on that train with the flexible spending account, that you are ready to go somewhere between the 9th of November and the 14th of December. That's the open season. You would sign up then. You would start contributing money come January 1st out of each of your paychecks for the calendar year. You have from January 1st to December 31st to spend your money. Again, this year you could carry forward $550 into next year if you sign up. If I had one this year, but I don't sign up to do one next year, any money that's in there on the 31st of December is going to be forfeited. So I wanted to mention this because we are in the middle of October right now. It's going to be the 9th of November pretty soon. That time is coming quick for me anyway. I don't know about you, but oh my goodness, like the time is just racing by. So be ready to go. Do your research, know what you want to sign up for. You're going to do this during that open season. The other thing that I wanted to mention, because remember, I'm working on the newsletter right now, and I'm talking about the open seasons in there. I'm also talking about the fact that cost of living adjustments were announced again earlier this week at 1.3%. They are always announced in October. They take effect in December. We see our December retirement checks, Social Security, FERS, CSRS, military, in January. So you would see the increase in January. Do remember that if you are a federal employee and you were not retired for all of last year, then your first COLA may be prorated. For example, if I retired in June of last year, then come January, I'm not going to get the full 1.3% cost of living adjustment because I wasn't retired for the full year that it was in effect. I was only retired for 50% of the year. I would only get 50% of that increase in January. And then, of course, next January, if there's a COLA, then I would be eligible for all of it. So I see that there's one person watching. I know it's an odd time as far as I've been trying to do these lives at 6 o'clock, so it's not surprising that I don't have a lot of people on here. Please, if you watch the replay, let me know if you have any questions whatsoever about the open season, the changes that you can make. I am going to, in the first comment, pop in a link for OPM so that you can go out there and look at the rates for the health insurance if you're interested in doing that. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Take care.